So far, my boyfriend has made me watch a couple of Quentin Tarantino's movies. And basically, every time we watch one, it goes something like this.
But I must conquer this now! Ah! I'm not afraid of you!
Now, Quentin Tarantino is one of those directors my boyfriend just doesn't shut up about, but whenever I watch his movies, all I can remember are feet and blood. But my boyfriend went and watched his newest movie in theaters, and now he's making me watch it too. But unlike the other times I've watched a Tarantino movie, I wasn't allowed to sit on my phone the whole time. And let me just say that with this one, it was hard not to. So this movie is basically set in the late 60s in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, where guys killed their wives without a second thought and underage girls offered guys blowjobs for car rides. Ah, the good old days. This movie follows a stuntman on his exciting adventures like fixing the antenna on a roof, driving his boss around to places, and making mac and cheese.
Toby, one full of love. Fun?
And also Leonardo DiCaprio portraying his real-life struggle before he won an Oscar. I tried my best to stay focused and not lose my attention, but I don't know how my boyfriend does it with this one. There were times where I literally just spaced out because I was so bored. I mean, I don't even like regular westerns. Why would I want to watch how they're made? And anytime I asked why we were sitting here watching young Bruce Lee fight Brad Pitt, my boyfriend would just say, "Why would we not? This is awesome." And yes, I've been told that this is Tarantino's love letter to the golden age of Hollywood, but this movie had me sitting there like... There was also a 30-minute long subplot that really could have been left out that we'll just call Leo Goes to Italy, and the entire thing is narrated for no reason. I mean, I might not be able to really appreciate movies and cinema, but I really would have been fine if they just left out Leo making dad noises while he gets schooled on an acting set by an 8-year-old girl. By the way, I really liked that little girl, and she was the only reason I paid attention to any of those old Western filming scenes. Also, the entire movie kind of felt like a shot at the people in relationships who suck at everything and deal with insecurity all the time, while people like my boyfriend just seem to do anything and be good at it. I mean, Leo killed a girl with a flamethrower. Yes, Brad Pitt did all the work, but Leo helped out, and I think he deserves a round of applause from us girlfriends for that. Sadly, Margot Robbie is in this movie. It's not a personal thing towards Margot, my boyfriend just has a childhood crush on Harley Quinn, and she plays Sharon Tate, whose whole role in this movie was to basically just be a big switcheroo at the end. Speaking of the end of the movie though, wow, I have to say it was really cool, and the times that I wasn't covering my eyes from the carnage, I was either laughing or on the edge of my seat. Brad Pitt was pretty relatable as a guy on an acid trip who has no idea what's even happening around him. And the puppy, top notch, 10 out of 10, the best part of the film. He really was the star of the whole thing, and would probably be the only reason I would want to watch this movie again. I mean, look at that cute face, and he just sits on that chair, what a good boy. Even when he rips that guy's balls off, he still looks like a cute little puppy.
Being a huge fan of Tarantino as a director and already having a history with his movies definitely helped me have an admiration and an appreciation for this movie and the level of care and detail that was used to make it. The dialogue is well written, the late 60s world is beautifully brought back to life, and the action is definitely a strong point just like a lot of other Tarantino films. Speaking as a film lover, I can understand why Tarantino made this film the way he did, but personally, I think the film itself was a little too oversaturated. One of the things that made Inglourious Basterds one of my top 10 favorite movies was the fact that I was sitting on the edge of my seat the entire time, and there wasn't a single scene in it where I could say, that didn't add anything to this film. That being said, as slow as the first half of the movie can be, when you do make it to the big ending, it really does pay off. Sitting through basically 3 hours of just setup, just to have it all culminate into one big explosion of an ending, makes sitting through the nostalgia definitely worth it. So I'm giving this movie 4.5 stars out of 5. It's a solid work of filmmaking that is well written with a great payoff, but can definitely get caught up in itself at some points.
Despite really trying to enjoy every aspect of this movie for the sake of my boyfriend, I just couldn't get past some things. The first half of the movie was really a struggle to get through for me, just because it's kind of uneventful. The only saving grace it had was the fact that I enjoyed watching a portrayal of life in the late 60s. It just didn't add much to the plot of the film. The second half picked up, and then I did start to enjoy it. This was essentially the first time I had heard of the Manson cult, and watching the way they all interacted within the community was almost chilling, but also really interesting. This movie wrapped up nicely with a hint more of humor towards the end, which I enjoyed. Overall, I enjoyed watching this movie, but I don't think I'd go out of my way to watch it again. So my final rating is 2.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching our review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
If you'd like to suggest a movie for us to review next time, leave a comment below.
And make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time on Couples Movie Night.